This lesson on time is the beginning for you of your quest to take better control of your time, because you're certainly not going to fix it just listening to me in a seminar. It's going to require a habit change. It's a habit change worth working on and getting done. It definitely will change your life, and it'll free up your time to do what you want with it. And of course, that everybody's got different things what they want to do with their time. I hope you learned by now that you don't need a whole lot of time to buy and sell houses. You just need to get everybody else to do most of the work for you. And by the way, that's true with any business I ever owned. I had 6 restaurants. My last one was right down on San Jose Boulevard called Iggy's Bar and Grill. And I didn't work there. I had a general manager. His job to take care of the restaurant, my job to watch him, and I delegated that to Tish. So I didn't have a whole lot of time in that restaurant, except, we had to eat there from time to time. And by the way, since I sold it, the food has gone to hell. I don't even eat at the restaurant that I got about $20,000 worth of gift cards for. I mean, the food is so bad. And I tried to tell the owner that, but he don't even eat at his own restaurant. He's I don't know where he's from. He's an immigrant, but he's a rich immigrant. One day I was sitting at the bar and he came up to me and said, "Hey, are you interested in selling this place?" Caught me by surprise. I said, "Well, yeah, think about it. You interested in buying it?" He said, "Well, yeah." I said, "Well, tell me what you'll pay." and we parted. About a week later, he got with me, said, and he gave me a number. And I said, "Yeah, well, I can probably live with that, since it was 3 times what I paid for it. But not 3 times what I had in it, 3 times what I paid for the restaurant." Okay. So it took about 2 months to get it closed because he had an attorney from hell. I mean, every little thing. And he finally got it closed. And that was in September of 2019. So I've been out of that restaurant ever since. And every time I go back, he asks me if I want to buy it back. Every time I say no. You asked for it. And he's on a 5-year lease now, so he's stuck. He don't care. He just bought it to have a place to go, really. And so did I, actually. But we intended to make money on it, and we were both wrong on that one. So I obviously went there many, many times, but he never saw me with an apron on. Every once in a while, I remember one time we had a Fathers Eat Free on Father's Day promotion. My God. They were stacked up so deep outside, we quickly filled up and put the whole back kitchen in the weeds, which means they're snowed under. People were standing outside, and I had a little old 18-year-old gal as the host. So I walked over there, and she was bawling. She was literally crying, trying to handle those people. And she said, "I'm quitting. I can't take this." And she went home. And I became the host for a while. And, I started telling people, we quickly created some kind of little rain check. And I started telling people, "You don't want in here tonight." Okay, so here, take this and come back when you want to, and Dad will still eat free. And drove them away, drove customers away. And I'll never forget that night, because I'll never do that special again either if I had a restaurant. But it worked. The restaurant was full from opening to almost closing. And that restaurant has a patio with a bar outside and tables outside, and they have music several nights a week, which is the only thing that keeps it going. So anyway, I don't care what business I got. I'm not going to be in there running it day to day, because I've been trained not to do that. So we just watched over it. We lived on reports, multiple conversations with the general manager, and we didn't hire anybody. He hired them all. He fired them all. In fact, I had an assistant manager one time that he hired that he knew, and she sucked. Man, she's worked in restaurants all of her life. And she sucked. And frankly, he had to fire her. She sued me for overtime. In Florida, if you're in management, you don't get overtime. So she sued me, trying to claim she wasn't in management. Now, of course, I have a mountain of documents that absolutely proves opposite of that, because I don't know how she thought she was going to get away with it. She just wanted them frivolous lawsuits. Strangely enough, about 2 weeks after she sued me, her attorney got a hold of my attorney and said, hey, we'll settle this for $25,000. You can imagine what I told her attorney, or my attorney to tell her attorney. I told him to tell her, and I want you to use these words, I'll spend $100,000 on legal fees before I give her a damn dime. And it went on for a couple more months. Sooner or later, she just went away. What would have happened if I would have paid her off? Everybody in the restaurant would be suing me for something. They could see an easy payday. And that's, by the way, is the new business opportunity of America, frivolous lawsuits. I had a piece of property out on the west side, racetrack on it, and this gal was there, stoned one night. She threw some kind of aerosol can in the barrel that was sitting out there and lit the barrel on fire and burned her. She started the fire, but she wanted to sue us, of course. She sued the owner of the property, which was a land trust, and she sued the company that was renting the property from me, which had insurance. Now, their insurance cap was $300,000. She really did get burnt. I mean, she had proof of that, but it was her own fault. She did it. So then they come out to my land trust, and of course the attorney was huffing and puffing and blowing smoke, and I did give it to my attorney to respond to their attorney, and he pointed out to them, property is owned in the land trust, it's sold, there is no more land trust. When you sell a property, the trust is dead. So if you want to sue a dead trust, come on. But there's a real good chance that my client's going to sue you back for a frivolous lawsuit. You know, in the state of Florida, if you can prove that the lawsuit was frivolous, the attorney is just as liable as the client. And frankly, that should be law everywhere as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, the insurance company settled with her. They paid that woman $300,000 just to get rid of her, because she burnt, got all these medical bills and all of that and so forth. So she had a case, not against us. So good thing I didn't own that property in my own name. Okay, what happens when people refuse to manage their time, which is exactly what most people do. They refuse to manage their time. Before I forget it, Scott, where are you, Scott? Okay, we'll talk about this at lunch. Yeah. All right. You don't mind if I show them this, do you? Did this come from Bloom?
Yeah, that's Bloom's. I made a mistake yesterday. I actually initiated that 3 months ago and just finalized it 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Okay, so it took you 2 months plus. That's all right. That's fast.
Yeah.
So my turn is longer than that, I can tell you that.
They were awesome.
This is his chart now. He and I are going to go over it at lunch, and I'm going to have to put my glasses on to read it, but I'll see what I think of it. My chart is way, way bigger than this one. In fact, it's a big old fold-out sheet, but I'm probably a little more complicated than he is. So I'm anxious to read it. So we're either going to control our time, and we're not. Most people are not, because frankly, most people don't even know that they're wasting all the time, and they don't just think about it that way. So, hey, Nikki, would you bring me my planner out of my briefcase, please? Okay. All right. So, every day is spent handling the next interruption, putting out fires. Every once in a while, they get something done, if it pops up in their memory. Minutia takes over, so there's little time left to actually grow the business and think about the important things and think about increasing the revenue and the things that can make you wealthier faster, because you're so busy putting out the fires. The day goes by and nothing gets done. Week goes by, nothing gets done. Month goes by, not much gets done.